Let's have a look at whether is there anti-incumbency in Tamil Nadu. So if you look at elections over the last 40 plus years in Tamil Nadu, there's been massive anti-incumbency. Once it was Jayalalitha, next election she was thrown out, Karunanidhi came in, then he was thrown out, then Jayalalitha came back. It just went on and on, in, out, in, out, in, out. Huge anti-incumbency. Except for the election before last, which Jayalalitha won 2 consecutive and broke that record. Now, Stalin's in power. Will he do the same? Will he win the next election? Or will anti-incumbency work? Actually, if you look at the different kinds of anti-incumbency, there's really anti-incumbency for governments, strong anti-incumbency of governments. There's a 27% chance of being voted back. In other words, a 73% chance of being kicked out. With MLAs, sitting MLAs, it's a marginal anti-incumbency. 41% of MLAs come back into the assembly. That means 59% do not return. That's also anti-incumbency, but not as strong as governments being thrown out. The key question here is that anti-incumbency was strong when there were 2 parties, the DMK and AIADMK. Now there's a major third force emerging, Vijay, the star, the superstar. He has huge rallies and huge emotion and enthusiasm. But the question is, will that be converted into votes? And will it divide the anti-incumbency vote, which was earlier would have gone all to the AIADMK? So will Vijay cut into the AIADMK vote? We asked a lot of voters in villages and towns, what is the mood today? And there was an indication of a mood for change, but some of that, or a lot of that, was not going to the AIADMK, it was going to Vijay. So that's the key. Even if there's a mood for change and anti-incumbency, that anti-incumbency may well be split down the middle. That's a key factor that could help the DMK. We went to a bellwether constituency called Thiruporur. Bellwether meaning whoever won the seat in Tirupur also won the state assembly election at the overall state level. 9 out of the last 11 elections, the same winner. That's why it's called bellwether. Listen to what they had to say.
I like Vijay. எம்ஜிஆர் அதுக்கப்புறம் தான் ஜெயலலிதா அவங்க எல்லாம் எம்ஜிஆரை வச்சு போடுவோம் நாங்கள் அந்த சின்னன்றதுனால ஏடிஎம்கே
ஏடிஎம்கே விஜய்க்கு ஓட்டு போடுவியா ஸ்டாலின் ஓட்டு போடுவியா விஜய்க்கு தான் ஃபுல்லாக விஜய் விஜய் தான் ஃபுல் ஃபேமிலியும் விஜய் தாங்க டிஎம்கே வந்து டேடி மம்மி அவங்களாம் யங் பாய்ஸ் எல்லாமே டிஎம்கேலாம் கிடையாது விஜய் ஒன்லி
தமிழ்நாடு டிவிகே ரெட்டையில டிஎம்கே ஏடிஎம்கே இல்லை நோ டிஎம்கே ஏடிஎம்கே போட்டு நம்மளுக்கு எந்த பிரயோஜனமும் இல்லை நாங்கள் கஷ்டப்பட்டு தான் ஆட்டோ ஓட்டுறோம் எங்களுக்கு கேஸ் ரேட்டு அதிகமாக இருக்குது பஸ்ஸு ஃப்ரீ பஸ் விட்டாங்க எங்களால் எதுவுமே சமாளிக்க முடியல அதனால புது ஆட்சி ஓட்டோன்னு சொல்லிட்டு நாங்கள் ஓட்டு போடுறோம் புது ஆட்சி எலெக்ஷன் வந்து எங்கெல்லாம் வந்து கொஞ்சம் பார்க்கணும் இந்த ஆட்சி அவர் சரியில்லைன்னா அந்த ஆட்சியில் நாங்கள் ஆளை மாற்றிப்போம்
5 ஆண்டு திமுக தமிழ்நாடு குட்டி சோறாக்கி வச்சுக்கிறான் ஒரு பொம்பளோட நிம்மதியாக வாழ முடியல வேற ஆட்சி எது வந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல அண்ணா திமுக விஜய் ரெண்டுல எது வந்தாலும் பரவாயில்ல
ஆட்சி மீறி துட்டு கொடுத்து வாங்கிட்டாலும் வாங்கிக்கலாம் யார் எவ்வளோ கொடுக்குறாங்க அமௌண்ட் அந்த பக்கம் சாஞ்சிடுறாங்களே
இஷ்டமா வந்து எலெக்ஷன் அவர் இது பண்ணிக்கிறாரு புது ஆள் வந்து மக்களுக்கு நல்லதா பண்ணுறேன்னு சொல்லிட்டு அவங்க இது பண்ணுறாங்க நாடு விஜய்க்கு பண்ணலாம்.
So there's clearly some anti-incumbency which is normal actually in most elections. But how will it work out in the final result, you feel?
Very clearly, Vijay is the X factor in this particular election. Whose vote he is going to eat into is the big question. Whether it's the ADMK alliance or the DMK alliance, that is the big thing. And whether what we are seeing on the ground, this huge fan swell, whether it is capable of getting translated into votes on that particular day, that is going to be the big question that will determine which way this election goes.
Right. Dora, in all your studies, anti-incumbency is a normal factor in elections. Maybe here's a little higher than normal, but it's across India.
You know, this is the first time that a party has lost Lok Sabha 19, Assembly 21, Lok Sabha 24. And EPS has lost a number of its lieutenants. So one doesn't know. I have not been in the field, as you know, I've come later. But I don't know the extent of the anti-incumbency. And also in Vijay's case, as we were talking to somebody else the other day, he said, you got to get the people into the booths. How many are registered? Do they know what their booths are? So you need an enormous infrastructure of people to get people to the booths, identify where they are, because most of us.
That's where
young
cadre-based parties gain,
Yes, that's right. The younger people who have just registered may not even know where the booth is or whether they're registered.
Right. Shikha, what did you feel? You talked to hundreds of people. What's the overall mood you feel of this election?
So, yes, I think the mood is for change. There is anti-incumbency. And whenever they talk of change, they don't really talk of AIADMK, but they talk of Vijay. Now, as the DMK leaders, more the DMK leaders and the AIADMK are at pains to emphasize the fact that this does not necessarily mean that he will get votes, because these are fans and it does not translate into votes. And while some of the young people said, we are going to vote for him and we will try and convince our parents and the elders in our family also to vote for him.
Yeah.
We also met a young girl and her mother in a village where the young girl, she's an IT professional. And she says, I'm going to vote for Vijay, I want change. And the mother immediately pointed out that you have become an IT professional because of the scholarship given to you by the DMK.
Right.
So she said she was going to vote for the DMK.
I love that phrase, which was people who said mummies and daddies vote for DMK, but we vote for Vijay.